Are you all familiar with the intimacy pyramid at all?
Not.
Have you looked at it?
No.
Okay. So it's a pyramid, and on the very, very top of it sits intimacy. Right. And I would say if we were to break that little top pyramid, we could even, physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, and put sexual intimacy at the very top of it. Under that sits vulnerability, meaning I can't be intimate unless I can be vulnerable with you. Right. That the physical intimacy, I mean, I got to be willing to take my clothes off in front of you. At, and that is not a small thing. Okay. Under that sits trust. And so I have to be able to trust you. That's not the bottom though. Under trust sits safety, and under safety sits truth. And so, truth or honesty is the absolute fundamental piece of relationship. Now, some people, I never get truth from you, and so I'm never going to move into safety and trust and right. So I'm never that this is true in any relationship. But the fact that when I'm in a place where I need to understand the good, the bad, the ugly. People, you've heard the saying, friend is someone who knows everything about you and likes you anyway. Right. And I think about my husband and I have been married for more than 20 years, and we've seen a lot of each other. Right. And so much of it is I need to know that I can trust you because I know the truth of who you are. And sometimes I don't like it, but when you give me truth, I can choose for myself what I'm going to do with it.
Mhm.
If you lie to me and present it as truth, the term I use is informed consent. And, we talk about it in terms of, I used to work in sexual assault, which is why, again, I don't flinch when I say the word sex or any other form of it, because I talk about this stuff all day. Yes, I have conversations with men about how often they masturbate and what that
Mhm.
looks like. And yeah, this is just my life. Um,
Pete laughed.
but
Haha, Pete.
I
that concept of it doesn't really matter what the truth is. If I can choose for myself based on what the information is, I have my own power. And even if I don't like it, I can still feel safe with you because I know you're going to tell me what's up. So I can trust you. So I can be vulnerable. I can choose my vulnerability, and I can choose intimacy with you.
I think
So
that kind of
when-
hits on something that is so important in couples counseling, right? Which is that like people will, I don't want to have this conversation with this person. I'm afraid of the implications of this conversation. And like, I push really hard all the time. Like you need to tell them these things because if you don't, there's no way you can move forward. And if you feel like you're too scared to have that conversation, that's the conversation you need to have. I have things I want to talk to you about, but I'm too scared to talk to you about it. That is a truth. We need to address this truth. Yeah. So
so I'm
no, that's
wondering
beautifully said.
in this intimacy pyramid, then truth is the very bottom. I imagine it's the whitest part of the pyramid. Does that mean it has like the largest mass of information input, like every day in and out of like, is that true? Is it not true? So from your partner, you're getting a lot of truth or falsehood input back and forth, back and forth. But as you go up the pyramid, when it comes to like vulnerability, that type of stuff may happen once a day, maybe
Yes.
a few times a week.
Right.
Okay. So
Right.
maybe
And then,
so you could probably lie about something to your significant other for whatever good reason you believe it is, but you could lie, but there's so much mass of information when it comes to the truth that they can overlook a lie because they have so much more that they bank on.
no,
I'm not
people
encouraging
don't,
lying, but what I'm saying is like
no.
I'm wondering why stuff at the top of the pyramid is so much more painful. Maybe because there's less of it.
Well, there is less of it, and because I banked on everything else. Basically, I allowed myself to become vulnerable and intimate with you based on the foundation. So, which is why are y'all familiar with the term gaslighting, which has been way misused? It kind of makes me mad. I'm like, hey, that's our term.
we have a very strong feeling about that, but yes, we are familiar with it.
Yeah, I
um,
learned it from TikTok.
yeah. So, and like my dog was gaslighting me because it said it wanted to go outside and it didn't, and I'm like, that's not gaslighting. Gaslighting is again, or people. I'm going to make somebody mad here. You can't gaslight yourself. It's impossible because gaslighting isn't. If you, it's based on the movie Gaslight. Have y'all seen it?
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
therapist should see Gaslight. Again, it's intentional manipulation, skewing your reality for my benefit. And so, again, when we talk about not, if I just forgot to tell my husband something, that's or I didn't think you'd care, and so I didn't think to mention it, like, I kinda blew it off. That's not the same thing. Now, certainly there was truth that was missed there, but yes, that to Pete's point, that kinda truth can be overlooked and argued and we can talk about that. But if you deliberately manipulate, and Pete, I'm not ignoring your question from earlier. If you deliberately manipulate facts or information for your benefit and to my detriment, how do I manage that? How do I become vulnerable or intimate with someone who is willing to do something that cruel? And I'm going to use the word cruel because it is.
Hmm.